Hello, Anarchy fans, and welcome to the podcast Anarchy Interviews, where I, Prismatic, interview Anarchy players who are famous and/or respected in their respective communities. Today I'll be interviewing a player by the name of Deloaded from the server 2B2T. Do you mind introducing yourself, Deloaded?
Hello, my name's Deloaded.
Alright. So, what kind of brought you to start playing Anarchy?
In 2016, I saw Rusher's video about 2B2T, and then my good friend Hermetic Lock joined the server and encouraged me to come with him.
I've heard a lot of good things about Hermetic Lock, personally. Now, so what kind of just inspired you to form Donfuer, really?
What inspired me to form Dawn?
Like what inspired you, or was your motivation to?
Well, Donfuer goes back a long, long way. It was started by me and some of my high school friends in 2013. So it's a very, very old group, almost a decade old. And, you know, the original reasons of why we started it, we just wanted a group and thought that that was a cool name. There's not too much more reason other than that.
All right.
And then it kind of kept going, and we kept doing more bases, and we moved from one server to another, and then we moved from that server to another server. And like what a lot of people do is they'll end their group and then they'll start a new one, or they'll change the name as time goes on or whatever. And I've just never done that. So Donfuer is kind of just the same, you know, just kept the same name.
All right. So, I'm wanting to browse the 2B2T wiki and watch stuff about like Anarchy on YouTube, and I heard the commotion with I think it was Donfuer 24 or 25. Uh, do you want like commenting on that and that whole story, or?
Donfuer 24 or 25?
Yeah, the one that was leaked by the man's girlfriend.
You're talking about Donfuer 25.
Yeah, 25.
The fit video that
Yeah. I also saw it on the 2B wiki. I got mention of it from an Avast player as well.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to know the story with that, go check out Fit's video about it. Or if you want to see the base, go check out our tour video on the Donfuer channel. We have an excellent tour of that base. That is the largest modern city in the history of 2B2T. It was built over just 3 months, which is an incredibly fast, like that's incredibly fast for what's there. It's a huge, huge base. It's probably in the top 10 bases in the history of 2B2T, and we did it in only 3 months. So that's a really big deal. And big congratulations to all the Donfuer members that worked on that. There was about 25 builders, people like Darkamir, people like Nemo, people like Death Star, people like Lucan, and myself. And so many people came together to contribute to that base. So it's unfortunate what happened to it. You know, if you have more specific questions about that, we can get into detail, I guess, if you want, but that's kind of all I have to say about it.
All right. Yeah, so how did since you said to be more specific, how did it feel knowing you had one of the largest modern cities on the server at some point?
It was the largest.
Oh, the largest, yeah. How did it
Yeah,
feel?
and okay, I have to specify the largest modern city. So, and I know this because we looked at the museum and we looked around at all of the very large bases to see like what was out there. And the second largest modern themed base was probably um, I think it was Avalisium. I may be wrong, but ours was about 3 times the size of the second largest modern city. So yeah, we blew everyone else out of the water. Now, is it the biggest base in the history of the server in general? No, absolutely not. But I think it's in the top 10.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean it felt good. Um, we were all very, very proud of it. And unfortunately it only lasted 3 months, but that's just how things go on 2B. So
Mhm. Yeah, so I'm in the Donfuer public server. That's how I got in contact with you. I saw
yeah.
in the announcements that you guys disbanded your PvP division. Is there any specific story behind that, or?
Yeah, well, I just feel that the group needs to focus on building, and that's always been what we do best. The PvP division of the group, it was kind of a side project to begin with, and it only ever really had like 7 or 8 people that actually played in it. So I figured it's for the best just to shut it down and keep things simple.
Alright. So now you're an ex fifth column member, right?
Yeah, that's right.
What kind of led you to cut ties with them?
I believe it isn't consistent with Donfuer's goals of promoting community and building and staying out of drama. I left the fifth column to dedicate 100% of my time to Donfuer and to not have any drama or um, I don't want to be seen as affiliated with them, and I don't think that Donfuer wants to be affiliated with them.
Mhm.
So it was best just to cut ties and make that separation. And I have respect for a lot of people in there, and I'm still on speaking terms with some of them, but we're just myself and Donfuer are on a very, very different course than they are.
Mhm.
So
Honestly, that's completely understandable. Now, on the topic of the fifth column, so I'm also in their public Discord, and recently Orson made an announcement of him quitting 2BGT. Do you have any comment on that, or?
you would have to ask him about that. I've seen that message. I've seen it on Reddit. He put it on the 2BTT uncensored Reddit,
Mm.
and yeah, I don't know if you can necessarily believe that, but you'd have to ask him.
Mm. So we're kind of we're kind of coming towards the end of the interview now. Do you do you have any just like closing statements or kind of like any stories you would want to tell about your time on 2B? Or
On 2B, any stories I want to tell?
yeah. Like any stories about like notable accomplishments and stuff.
Um, it's very open ended. I'm having a hard time trying to figure out what you're asking. Um,
Like if you could explain kind of some of your most notable accomplishments on the server, like any of them.
okay, like what do I think my most notable accomplishment is?
Yeah.
I think, I mean, Donfuer is obviously my most
Yeah.
notable accomplishment. That's my legacy. That's the group that I've been slowly building on 2B2T for 6 years now, and then an additional 4 years prior to even joining 2B2T. So that's really my legacy. That's the thing that I'm the most proud of, the group and the things that we've accomplished. You know, Donfuer 25 is a big one. Rebuilding Aureus is a pretty big deal. Um, we were 14% of 2B2T's population in 2022,
Mm-hmm.
which made us the largest group by double the second largest. The second largest was the collective at 7%,
Mm-hmm.
which, by the way, is run by Tosca, who's a Donfuer member, and a bunch of our good friends. So they're kind of like very close allies.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, a lot of people don't. Well, if you play 2B, you know this, but 2022 was absolutely like Donfuer was extremely dominant in that year. We were, the largest building group. We were also the target of a crazy amount of griefers and attacks, and a lot of
Mm-hmm.
we received a lot of flack.
Yeah.
But that's kind of how it is. I mean, when you're successful, you receive a lot of attacks and you receive a lot of flack. And this year we've refocused a little bit and shifted some of our priorities back to more of what they had always been, and the group's still doing extremely well. So yeah, that's what I would have to say our biggest accomplishments are.
Well, so I guess that kind of just marks the end of the interview. Do you have like a closing statement you want to say?
Uh, no, not really. Not really. If you're interested, if anyone listening ever does join 2B and is interested in joining our group, you can learn more at www.donfuer.com. Through our website, you can access our public Discord or apply to join the group. We have branches on 7 different servers, not just 2B2T. Right now, we have a branch on 2B2T, 9B9T, Constantium, Legacy Network, Stoneworks, and CivMC. So it's a huge community, and you can join even if you're not an Anarchy player. We will find a place for you.
All right. So that brings us to the end of the interview then. I hope you guys enjoyed listening. My socials will be linked in the description alongside my Discord. And yeah, all Donfuer links will be down there as well. So yeah, you guys have a nice day.